everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in today. My name is Jesse Mayfield Sheehan. I am coming to you live from Daly Field in Boston, Massachusetts. Here to bring you live coverage of today's New England Football League Summer Football Contest. And today is a good day for any fans of expensive jewelry or the second generation of Pokemon games, because today is a day of gold and silver. This contest pits the visiting New London County Silverbacks against the hosting MetroWest Golden Badgers. These two teams, both members of the Single A Maritime Conference. In the New England Football League, the Golden Badgers 1-1 so far this season. They won on the road against conference opponent Vermont Ravens in the first week of the season, 32-21. Suffered a tough loss last weekend against a Double-A opponent in the Haverhill Hitmen in their home opener here at Daly Field. Lost that one 35-0 against the higher division opponent. The Silverbacks, meanwhile, come into this one with a record of 0-1. They lost their season opener on the road against the Rhode Island Riptide, 12-6. They had a bye last weekend, and so we'll see how these two teams handle things here today. You guys probably noticed the Wi-Fi connection still quite bad out here at Daly, but don't worry, we are recording this at the same time that we're live streaming, and we will upload the recorded version of this broadcast later tonight after the game is over. But for now, I'm hoping at least that the audio of this live stream is coming through for you guys decently enough so you can follow the action at least through my commentary. The two teams meeting at midfield for the opening coin toss. Representing the Badgers looks to be Marquise Hughes, Ray Kirkland, Kyle Hudson, and I think the last one is Ty Hawley Sr. Unfortunately, the New London County Silverbacks did not have a roster posted on the league website, so I won't be able to announce any of their names. I'll be just narrating for them based on jersey number. All right, I do believe that the Badgers won the opening coin toss and elected to defer. Sorry about that, folks. I was briefly being corrected on the pronunciation of a player's name. I welcome any and all corrections there. I want to get these... Oh, excuse me, I'm sorry. As I was saying, I want to get these guys' names as accurately as I can, give them the best coverage I can. So if anyone hears me mispronouncing any names, don't be shy. Correct me in the live chat. Sorry about that, folks. My apologies. Two teams lining up for the kickoff now. The Badgers will be sending this kick away. The Silverbacks to receive the opening kick. Like I said, I've got no names for the Silverbacks roster. And are they kicking this one off from midfield? That is further upfield than usual. Was there a rule change, or is there some obscure rule being triggered here that I don't know about? Either way, for the Badgers, number 5, Jean Janvier, getting set to kick this one away. If there are any Silverbacks fans tuning into this one and you want to let me know the names of the Silverbacks players corresponding with their jersey numbers, just let me know in the live chat. Want to give both teams as good a coverage as I possibly can, and unfortunately there wasn't an online roster for the Silverbacks. But either way, we're underway. Badgers versus Silverbacks, and the opening kick rolls past the return man. He chases it down at the goal line, trying to run it out deep, and he gets hit, shakes off a couple of tacklers, and drags a couple of guys all the way just past the 15-yard line. So a valiant effort there. I think that was the Silverbacks number 13 on the return there. Got that farther than it initially looked like he was going to, and got the Silverbacks out of what could have been some very bad field position. My apologies again, folks. All kinds of, I don't know, allergy stuff, I guess. Silverbacks ball, 1st and 10 from about their own 17. Number 11 takes the snap, hands it off to number 2, trying to run through a couple tacklers, but gets dragged down there. Good follow-up hit there by Ty Hawley Sr. to prevent him from going any further. That'll bring up 2nd down. After what looks to be a gain of maybe 2. Gonna say 2nd and 8 for now. We got a pause here. Oh, looks like a snafu with the chain gang. Ah, there it is. They needed the 3rd member of the chain gang to display the downs. All right, here we go. 2nd, and I actually think it's 2nd and 9. 2 receivers on either side. 11 takes the snap, hands off. 2 going up the middle, met by a cavalry of Golden Badgers defenders right at the middle, and gets tackled for a short gain. So looks like another gain of about 2. I think it's 3rd and 6, maybe 7 from the 21-yard line. Yeah, 3rd and 6. Line to gain appears to be the 27. So 3rd and 6 from the 21. Number 11 waiting in shotgun. Number 2 behind him. 2 receivers either side. Takes the snap, fakes the handoff, rolling to his right, throws a pass, got a man, caught by number 19, forced out of bounds. That's going to be close to the marker. Oh, wait, we've got a flag down on the field, thrown right around the line of scrimmage. Ineligible man down, wait, what did they call? It looked like a signal for an eligible man downfield, and maybe, yeah, the ref just pointed in the wrong direction. He was pointing in the direction of the Badgers as if the penalty was on them. But no, it was an ineligible man downfield penalty. And that's going to set him back 5 yards. It'll be 3rd and 11 from the 16. Man in motion. Cuts to the backfield. They're going for a toss. Number 13 taking off with it with speed, running to his right. Hurdles over a man, still on his feet, and finally gets dragged down. He's going to be short of the marker. But number 13, who is also on the kick return, he's had a couple of entertaining runs at minimum. That said, it's going to be 4th and about 4 from the 23. Number 5 for the Silverbacks is Jalen Valentin. Thank you, Miranda Cook, for the help on that one. Any other names that folks want to fill in the live chat, I encourage it. Big 4th down here as the Silverbacks are going for it. 4th and 4 deep in their own territory. 11 takes the snap, stepping, looking, still looking, floats out a pass to 2, and he's hit, and he stays on his feet and dives across the marker. He absorbs the initial contact from Ty Hawley Sr., stayed on his feet, and just dove over the line. Big 4th down conversion for the Silverbacks as they keep the ball. It'll be 1st and 10 from the 28-yard line. Oh, wait, number 13 is Jalen Valentin, not number 5. So it's Jalen Valentin who's had a couple of entertaining runs, and he got a big one on 3rd down to set them up for 4th and short. Number 2 with the big conversion. Number 12 going in motion to the backfield. 11 running with it. Pitch to 12. 12's got some space. Shakes off one tackle, but then gets grabbed and brought to the ground. It's going to be around the 30. Gain of 2 or 3 yards, looks like. Number 12 taking the pitch from number 11. We got a flag on the play. And I believe it's against the Badgers. I think it might have been offsides. So it actually won't be 2nd down. It's going to stay 1st down, as they're going to move it ahead 5 yards. 1st and 5 from the 33. But the Silverbacks showing a pattern of absorbing initial contact from the Badgers defense. The Badgers have got to do a better job wrapping guys up instead of just bumping them and hope they go down if they want to be able to stop this Silverback offense from moving. Snap to 11, steps back looking to throw now, fires a pass, almost intercepted by Dasani Houston as it went off his hands. Instead, it'll simply be an incomplete pass, 2nd and 5. The Silverbacks have only attempted 3 passes so far. One was complete but undone by an ineligible man downfield penalty. That last one nearly intercepted, and then sandwiched around those was the short completion to number 2 to convert on 4th down. 2nd and 5, 11 in shotgun, 2 receivers either side. Looks like number 31 behind him. Snap. Steps back, fires down the far sideline, off the fingertips of number 19. Could not haul that one in. 3rd down coming up. Number 19 ran a good route there. The pass, you know, maybe a little bit behind him as he was going for a turnaround catch, but he had it. Just couldn't quite get his hands around it as it bounces off the fingertips. 3rd and 5 from the 33-yard line. Since the offsides penalty on 1st down, the Silverbacks have not been able to move after a pair of incompletions. You wonder if they might go back to the run game here, try and set up 4th and short, as they have yet to have any negative plays out of the rush so far today. Number 12 going in motion across the field, and a flag thrown. Illegal motion. That's going to set the Silverbacks 5 yards back. That's a tough penalty for the visitors here as they go from a very manageable 3rd and 5 to a much tougher 3rd and 10. Back where this set of downs started, back on the 28-yard line. Same formation here. Shotgun, two receivers either side, running back behind the quarterback. Low snap, steps back, looking to throw, fires. No! Dropped! Number 12 was thinking about the run before he had the catch. Started to turn upfield, thought he had the ball in his hands, but it was not secure. And as he was trying to grip it to his body, he wasn't moving his body towards the ball. He was moving it upfield, and so it just slipped out of his hands. So another incompletion for the Silverbacks. It's going to be 4th and 10, and they are still going to go for it on 4th and long. Maybe they don't have a punter. Big play coming up here, but a timeout is going to be called by the Silverbacks. Again, my apologies, folks. Allergies been doing a number on me this summer. I got the name of one Silverbacks player, but if any other Silverbacks fans want to fill in the gaps since they didn't have an online roster, I'm happy to hear that in the live chat. The Silverbacks will punt. Number 45 boots it out to the far side. It's going to bounce, and the return man is just going to let it go. Valentin is down there to touch it down, and the Badgers will take over. So the Golden Badgers defense able to get the 3 and out, even if a lot of it was due to mistakes by the Silverbacks, a couple of drop passes and an illegal motion penalty setting them back. And now the test turns to the Badgers offense. They were held scoreless against their higher division opponent, the Hitmen, last weekend. The weekend before that, they exploded for 5 touchdowns against the Ravens. The Silverbacks held their opponent to just 12 points in their Week 1 loss. So we'll see which team comes out firing here. The Badgers coming out in a tight formation with quarterback Marquise Hughes under center. Oh, the snap was dropped. Unable to tell what they were planning on that one. They're just lucky they didn't lose the football, as it looks like they're going to lose 2 yards on that one. Go from 1st and 10 at their own 43 to 1st and 12 at the 41. Badgers usually line up in shotgun and usually have some receivers out wide, but they're coming out with a tight formation, and they're doing it again here on 2nd down. Take 2 for the Badgers after a botched snap on the first play. And, oh, now we got some movement, and that's going to be a false start on the Badgers. So 2 whistles, one on a botched snap, one on a flag, and the Badgers have moved back 7 yards. It's going to be 2nd and 17 from the 36. So we saw the Silverbacks almost execute on a number of strong plays, but just make some mistakes. The Badgers making their mistakes right out of the gate here. Now they've switched to a shotgun formation. Looks like Two out wide on the left, one out wide, and one tight end on the right. Hughes takes the snap, hands off. Kevon Doolin, number 17, running to his left. Shakes off a couple tackles, goes for a spin, but gets met by some defenders, but manages to undo a chunk of the damage. Almost get him back to where they started. Looks like the gain of 6 from Kevon Doolin. No, gain of 5. So undoes the damage from the false start penalty, and that's going to bring up 3rd and 12. The Badgers around midfield. Wouldn't be surprising if they went for it on 4th in this kind of situation, but for now, we got a timeout from the Badgers.
Hi, my name is Cam from Cam's Crochet Creations. I'm here at this Hall and Green every Sunday from 10 to 1, and I sell bags, bucket hats, bandanas, stress blobs, dinosaurs, and more, so come check it out.
All right, that was just a quick word from one of our sponsors, Crochet Creations by Cam. Out of the timeout, we'll see what the Badgers do. Maybe they try and go for something short to create a manageable 4th down situation. Maybe they try and go for it all. Unique formation here. 4 receivers out wide on the right and 1 on the left. They got trips and 1 guy trailing behind in that 4 receiver formation on the right side. Hughes in shotgun. Takes the snap. Looks away from the screen, goes deep down the sideline, caught! Jonathan Joseph hauls it in for a big 1st down. Let's take a look again at this one. You can see Hughes looks to his right towards the formation that looked like they were setting up for a screen, then just fires deep. Jonathan Joseph, he's got crazy speed. Outpaced his defender, hauled in a nice catch over his shoulder there, staying inbounds long enough to make it a good catch. If that throw had been a little bit to his right and he was able to keep his footing in bounds, he could have gone all the way, but instead the Badgers will simply have to settle for a very long 1st down conversion as they come out in their tight formation once again. 1st and 10 from the Silverbacks' 21-yard line. Hughes takes the snap, hands off. Xavier Garcia taken down by the Silverbacks' number 2. No gain, might have lost a yard. Yeah, looks like a loss of 1 on the play. So it'll be 2nd and 11 from the 22. Now the Badgers coming out in another unique formation. 3 backs behind the quarterback under center. 1 receiver out wide on each side. I've never seen this formation from the Badgers before. What could this play be? Oh, we got a jump, but who jumped first? The official is going to confer on this one, decide who jumped first. The defensive lineman jumped over the line, but did the offensive lineman twitch or something to draw them offsides? That is the question. And it's an offsides call against the Silverbacks. So not enough movement from the Badgers to justify the Silverbacks jumping over the line. And that, I believe, will make it 2nd and 6 from the 17. Badgers coming out in the same formation again. I wonder what kind of play they'll be running with this 3 backs in an I formation behind the quarterback kind of play. Hughes fakes one handoff, now gives to Garcia, and he gets smothered immediately. The Silverbacks dominating against the Badgers' past 2 run plays, as that's a big loss of yards. The Badgers trying to fake out the defense. It did not work at all, as it looks like they lost about 3 on that play. 3rd and 9 coming up from the 20. And was another timeout just called, or is it the end of the quarter? I think nope. Yep, they're switching sides. That is the end of the first quarter. No score at the end of one as we switch sides. The Badgers knocking on the door here, but after a couple of setbacks on some rushing attempts, Badgers will need another big play or 2 if they want to be the first team on the scoreboard today. Badgers have not yet scored here at Daly Field this season, as their only touchdowns of the season came on the road against the Ravens. Looks like they're actually placing it back at the 21, not at the 20, so it's actually 3rd and 10 for the Badgers, back where they started. Now coming out in shotgun. 2 receivers and a tight end on the left side. 1 receiver isolated on the right. Hughes in shotgun. He's got Shane Rizzoli on his left in the backfield. Takes the snap, looking, now starting to scramble, trying to find the hole, and it's not there, and he gets dragged down. Combined sack for the Silverbacks from numbers 22 and 55. And the Badgers now facing 4th and very long. 2 deep in enemy territory to punt. And they don't have, a field goal unit that can handle how long this would be, as it appears they're at about the 28-yard line. So 4th and 17. So the Badgers would need 17 yards. So they need to get to the 11 in order to convert a first down. A big chance for the Silverbacks defense to get the ball back. Similar formation, 2 to the left, 1 tight end to the left, and 1 out wide to the right. Hughes, it's a direct snap. Kevon Doolin was running with it and got tackled. I don't think that was the plan. I think the snap just missed its target. There are a lot of Badgers players and coaches signaling like, what just happened? So I think that might have been a mistake. And regardless of whether that play was planned or not, the result is pretty straightforward. A turnover on downs for the Badgers, and so the Silverbacks will take over. Chef wanted in the live chat saying audio is great, but stream is lagging. And thanks for letting me know, Chef. It's unfortunate the Wi-Fi connection here at Daly Field is not good. I might even go far as to say that it's quite bad. But don't fret, I am recording this at the same time that I'm live streaming it, and I'll be able to upload the fully recorded version of this broadcast with the full video later tonight. For now, unfortunately, I just have to follow along with the functional audio. I'm sorry, I can't do any better than that. 1st and 10, number 11, firing a deep shot over the middle. Oh, it goes through the hands of number 86. Another dropped pass by a Silverbacks receiver. And that's going to bring up 2nd and 10. The route was well run by the, I believe, tight end, number 86. Nice in cut over the middle. Had inside leverage. I think the ball just came in too high and too fast. He couldn't get his hands around it as it bounced off his helmet and away from anyone else that might catch it. And so it'll be 2nd and 10 from the 27. And we've got a timeout called by the Silverbacks. This is their 2nd timeout of the first half. Trying to get organized here. And so again, the big difference, the Silverbacks have been able to, you know, get the structure of plays in place. They just haven't quite been able to finish, as they've had a lot of trouble with drops. The Badgers have just had trouble getting organized and getting plays started. When they got a play started, they were able to finish with that big pass to Jonathan Joseph. Just a real difference so far, and somebody jumped on that one. They're going to call a false start. I believe that'll be on number 8, and so that'll push the Silverbacks 5 yards for 2nd and 15 now from the 22. Both teams have had a little bit of trouble with getting antsy at the line at the start of plays. All right, 2 receivers on either side of number 11, running back behind him. Takes the snap, steps back, scrambling to his right, looking around, no room, dumps it off, finds number 2. Number 2 shakes off a hit, gets dragged down from behind, short of the first, but another nice gain on the catch out of the backfield by number 2, as he not only mitigates the damage of that false start, but gets them pretty close to the first down marker, as he got them from the 22 up to the 34. So it'll be 3rd and 3 after a 12-yard gain on the desperate dump-off pass to the running back. Again, shaking off first contact. Number 2 has been very strong with that for the Silverbacks so far. 11 takes the snap, quick pass. Oh, caught at the shoelaces, did not catch it. The ref rules that it hit the turf. Valentin trying to make the catch at the shoestrings off the low fastball throw. A big call by the officials there undoes what would have easily been a first down for the Silverbacks if that had been ruled a completion. And so now it is 4th and 3 for the Silverbacks. They converted on 1 4th and short their last time with the ball. Can they do it again here? 11 steps back, fires a pass, intercepted! It's being returned by Joe Lineman. He gets tackled, but the Badgers will take over. Joe Lyman jumping the route on that one. Let's see that one again. Levin fired the pass. Oh, it looked like he was going for the outside receiver. Joe Lyman was covering the inside receiver. His man was going up the seam, but Lyman, looking at the QB's eyes, sees he's going for the short curl route to the outside receiver, and he just jumps it. Jumped right in front and picked that one off. Gutsy decision, but ultimately a great read by the Badgers DB from Hudson. Joe Lyman gives the Badgers the ball. 1st and 10 at, looks like, the Silverbacks' 34-yard line. Marquise Hughes sending Doolin way back and now coming back. That was strange. Hughes takes the snap. Uh-oh, chase down, lost the football! That's a fumble picked up by the Silverbacks. Again, the Badgers getting a little too funky with their play, and Hughes holding on to the ball too long, and he looks hurt as he's coming off the field. Gonna have to keep an eye on Marquise Hughes, the Badgers' starting quarterback. He was forced to sub out a couple of plays last week as he got banged up against the Hitmen. Now getting banged up here. We'll have to see next Badgers possession if he's okay. But the Badgers defense, right after getting the turnover, forced to come back out onto the field as Hughes just got rushed from behind as he was moving to his left. And I don't know if he just dropped the ball or if he was trying to get rid of it. Either way, resulted in a fumble. 11 takes a snap, steps back, fires to his left. Oh, off the fingertips of number 12. On that play, looked like number 12 was late to turn his head around and look back at the quarterback on his out route. So the Badgers defense gets another break thanks to a Silverbacks drop. Coming out with 2 receivers on either side. Oh, we got some movement prior to the snap, and number 11 juggled the snap, so he's just going to fall on it. As that was going to be a free play anyway, so the Silverbacks lose the chance to try and test the Badgers defense with some kind of a big play. Instead, they'll just take the 5 yards and move on, as that was, in fact, an offsides penalty on the defense. 2nd and 5 from the Badgers' 44-yard line. The Silverbacks in opposing territory for the first time today after the Badgers' turnover. Eleven steps back and moves to his right, fires a pass, and it's caught. That'll be a good first down conversion by number 8 of the Silverbacks. First catch in a little while. But they convert the first down and move to the Badgers' 35. The Badgers were unable to take advantage of being deep in enemy territory when they made it down. Now the Silverbacks, thanks to their defense starting in enemy territory for the first time, can they take advantage? Different formation now. They got 3 receivers on the right, 1 on the left. Trips formation to the right. 11 takes a snap, looks right, looks left. Dump off pass, complete to the running back, who gets wrapped up and dragged down. Joe Lyman not letting go as he takes down the running back. I think it's number 28 for the Silverbacks. Hard to tell as jersey's pulled up a little bit. Looks to be a gain of about 4 on the play, as those dump-offs to the running back have been working wonders for the Silverbacks offense. They've had a couple of nice gains on those. Number 2, of course, getting the big 4th down conversion on the first possession off a similar type of play. Silverbacks tightening up their formation here. Almost looks similar to the flex bone formation with how tight it is, but they've got 4 receivers. And 11 stepping back, looking to throw. Pass rush coming, fires a deep shot. 19's all alone, but it's too far. Number 19 got well past the defense. But the pass from 11 just overshoots the target. As the Badgers again get a lucky break, on defense there. Brings up 3rd and 6. In the live chat, a Badgers player who unfortunately unable to play this year, Javon Furtado, saying number 87 of the Badgers checking in. Proud of you guys. Sucks I can't play this year. I'm sorry I won't be able to see you out on the field, Javon, but happy to see you in the live chat, rooting on your teammates. Big 3rd and 6 here. 11 takes the snap, hands off to number 2. Hit at the line, hit again, still churning those legs, pushing forward, gains a few yards on a play that could have resulted in no gain. But again, fighting through initial contact. This will bring up 4th and short. So that was a very hard-fought 2-yard gain for the Silverbacks, number 2. Brings up 4th and 4 from the 29. 11 takes the snap, rolling to his right. He's got room, and he's got a pitch target behind him. He gets hit, and hit from behind, dragged down very close to the marker. I think he's got the first down. As he again fought through initial contact and avoided being stripped of the ball. And it looks like he got exactly the yard to gain, maybe an inch more, as it'll be 1st and 10 from the 25. Again, the Badgers just got to bring some stronger, more thorough hits on first contact. As the Silverbacks send it to 11. 11 running to his left, pitches it to 2. 2 met in the backfield by a couple of defenders, and he's brought down for what I think might be a loss. Joe Lyman and Marquise Allen, the combined effort there. And it looks like we got a timeout called, I assume by the Silverbacks, maybe by the Badgers. Looks like a loss of about 3 on the play. It'll be 2nd and 13. And during this timeout, another quick word from one of our sponsors.
Hello, everyone. I'm Dana Perello, owner of Diamond Pressure Washing and Car Detailing, LLC. I am very excited to kick off the spring. We got some promos, 20% off for any pressure washing. Give me a call. Check us out on Facebook, Instagram, diamondpressure101.com.
All right, our thanks to Diamond Pressure Washing for supporting Golden Badgers football. It'll be 2nd and 13 for the Silverbacks here from the 28-yard line. 11 takes a snap, looking to throw. Now scrambling to his right. Still scrambling, now fires across his body. Got a man wide open, it's over his... Wait, did he catch that? Oh my gosh, how did he come down with that football? Jalen Valentin catches that one by a method I can only describe as somehow. And, oh, it was the 2-minute warning. That wasn't a timeout. That was a 2-minute warning, which is why the Silverbacks trying to rush it here before halftime. 11 takes the snap. Flag is thrown. Throws a pass complete to the running back, but stripped. Incomplete pass as he did not finish the process. And we'll see what the flag was. Play continued, which would suggest it was on the defense. And it was. Ill-timed offsides on the Badgers. They'll move ahead 5 yards to the 6. 1st and 5 from the Badgers' 6-yard line. The Badgers in desperate need of a big defensive play here late in the first half. This first half feels like it's just flown by so far. 2 receivers either side. Number 2 behind number 11. Takes the snap, steps back, looking to his left, and running out of time, starting to scramble. Gets the ball away. And it looks like he got it to number 2 somehow as he was being taken to the ground. Got rid of the ball. And now a timeout called by the Silverbacks in the confusion. Moved forward to, I think, the 3-yard line. Number 11's been doing a great job getting the ball out of his hands when the pressure arrives. And now he's got his team knocking on the doorstep here. Second and 2 from the 3 coming up. For a second, it looked like the Badgers were going to get that defensive highlight they so desperately needed, as they had number 11 wrapped up, going to the ground. Almost looked like it was going to be similar to the fumble by Marquise Hughes that gave the Silverbacks their strong field position to start this drive. But instead, 11 gets the ball out with enough force to get it to number 2. Who just barely caught it while falling down to his knees. And so the play was down. All right, here we go. Out of the timeout. Silverbacks lining up. 2nd and 2 from the 3. Snap, 11 looking to throw, scrambling to his right, firing a shot over the outstretched hands of number 30. 3rd and 2 coming up. So the incomplete pass stops the clock here late in the second quarter. Silverbacks need to get to the 1 for a first down, or they can just get into the end zone. 11 stepping back, fires, picked off! The Badgers running it back, and he's got daylight in front of him, and gets blocked only slightly as Valentin chasing him from behind. Kyle Hudson looking for someone to lateral it to, but it's not there. He gets dragged down, but what a play by Kyle Hudson! Oh, we got a personal foul called against the Badgers. Was this before or after? It's after the interception. It's on the run back. The Badgers do take over with a huge interception by number 20, Kyle Hudson. And I don't even really have a good replay. You can see the Badgers were desperately trying to block Jalen Valentin. That was the only guy that Hudson had to beat as he hustled his way back to bring him down, but a foul called on the Badgers undoes most of that run back. But the important part, the interception. Kyle Hudson The defensive back from New Hampshire coming through clutch for the home team. And so the officials, are they conferring over the placement, or was that the end of the half? I think this might actually be halftime. All right, just checked, and in fact, it is halftime here at Daly Field. No score between the MetroWest Golden Badgers and New London County Silverbacks. Both teams still trying to find that those first points. Nothing yet, but you know that just means anything can happen in the second half. Audrey's Modern Life in the live chat saying, "Go Badgers." And the Badgers will go back to work in the second half of this ball game. I'm going to take a break, mute the mic, and I'm going to give us some words from our sponsors. But I will be back with the second half of this ball game. Stay tuned.
Hi, my name is Cam from Cam's Crochet Creations. I'm here at this Holland Green every Sunday from 10 to 1, and I sell bags, bucket hats, bandanas, stress blobs, dinosaurs, and more, so come check it out.
Hello everyone, I'm Dana Perello, owner of Diamond Pressure Washing and Car Detailing, LLC. I am very excited to kick off the spring. We got some promos, 20% off for any pressure washing. Give me a call. Check us out on Facebook, Instagram, diamondpressure101.com.
Hello again, everybody. Jesse Mayfield Sheehan back on the mic here at Daly Field in Boston, Massachusetts. Here to bring you the second half of this New England Football League contest between the visiting New London County Silverbacks and the hosting MetroWest Golden Badgers. Second half kickoff underway. It goes down the near side of the field, juggled a bit, and now picked up. And trying to run it back is number 2, who I believe might actually be Keith Campbell Jr., as he gets taken down there. Bit tough to tell on the Badgers team website. They have number 2 listed as Xavier Garcia, but the back of number 2's jersey says Campbell. So a bit unsure. But either way, off the short return, off the long kick from the Silverbacks, the Badgers will be starting with their worst opening field position of the day so far, starting at their own 15. Both offenses struggled throughout the first half, as evidenced by the goose eggs on the scoreboard for both teams. Scoreless tie right now. Badgers had the biggest single play with a long bomb to Jonathan Joseph that got them deep into Silverbacks territory on their first drive, but they weren't able to capitalize. 1st and 10 here. Marquise Hughes takes the snap, hands off to Ricky Adams, who bumps into his own blocker. Sloppy mistake for the Badgers there, as that's going to lose them 1 yard. 2nd and 11. The run game has not been doing much good for the Badgers so far today. A lot of run plays getting blown up in the backfield or just being mishandled right from the jump. But then a couple of the pass plays have also resulted in sacks, including one sack fumble. 2nd and 11. Hughes takes the snap, dropping back, fires a pass, hits his man, Shane Bushy, managing to leap up in the air and snag that one for a nice gain. That looked like a desperate pass as the pass rush was right in Hughes' face. Lofts up a bit of a quick prayer there as it goes just over the outstretched hands of a defender and is caught by Bushy instead. We got an injured Silverbacks player down, looks like number 12 of the Silverbacks was injured on the play. A couple players collided after the catch. He's back up, jogging off on his own power, which is a good sign. You know, I don't care who you're rooting for. You don't root for anyone to get seriously hurt. You know, none of these players are, getting paid any kind of, $1 million contracts or anything like that. You know, none of them nobody deserves to get hurt playing football. Even if many obviously do. Physical sport, what can you do? 3rd down coming up. 3rd and short here. Looks like 3rd and about 3. Hughes takes the snap, looking, fires too high. Incomplete, and it's going to be 4th and 3 coming up for the Badgers. And it looks like, it sounds like they're deciding to punt here, which is unfortunate. After the nice gain on the catch by Shane Bushy got him to 3rd and short, but they are so deep in their own territory here that they are opting to send out the punt unit. Hughes was trying to find Joe Lyman on that pass on a simple slant route, but overshot it as it flew over his head. And if there's one big adjustment for the Badgers that has to start right now on this play, it's that they have to do better on first contact when tackling. The Silverbacks, I don't have any kind of stats on me, but they broke so many tackles in that first half that really allowed them to move the ball. Snap goes back to Sonny Houston, punts it high in the air, taken by Jalen Valentin. A flag thrown on the play as Valentin picking up speed. He's got daylight. Valentin going all the way to the end zone, pending the flag. This would be a Silverbacks touchdown, but there was a flag way back at the start of the run back. It looked like one of the Badgers' cover guys got dragged to the ground and some unnecessary extra movement on the block. Jalen Valentin. And it is a personal foul against the Silverbacks. So the first touchdown of the day gets taken off the board due to a penalty on the run back. And so the Silverbacks will have 1st and 10. All the way back at their own 36. Boy, that is a major setback. They received the punt at about midfield, and Valentin took it all the way to the house. But one of his first blockers got a little overzealous when trying to block the Badgers' gunner, Joe Lyman. Ended up grabbing him and dragging him to the ground, and I think that's what the penalty was. I'm not sure. The signal was one I'm not entirely familiar with after the personal foul signal. But a big setback for the Silverbacks as they'll start 1st and 10 from their own 36. Number 11, the quarterback in shotgun, 2 receivers on either side. Number 2, the running back behind him. Takes the snap, steps back, looking to throw, fires over the middle, dropped. That one low and behind the receiver, number 8. So while the pass was incomplete, you know, not as bad a drop as we've seen some of the other drops by the Silverbacks receivers today. And it'll be 2nd and 10. Silverbacks coming out in very similar formation, 2 receivers. Number 2, the running back behind number 11, the quarterback. Takes the snap, delayed handoff. They go for the draw to number 2, and he's got some room. Bounces off 2 tacklers. Flag is thrown. He's still on his feet. Got the first down and way more pending the flag, and he's still going. Number 2 refuses to go down. Finally dragged down deep in Badgers territory, but another big play by the Silverbacks could come back on a flag. We got a Badgers player with his helmet off, down on one knee. Looks a little shaken up from the play. We're still waiting for a signal from the officials on the flag, but they are walking this one back. And I think the Silverbacks may have shot themselves in the foot once again. But once again, the Badgers have to find a way to adjust and do a better job tackling and bringing guys down. But it is an illegal block in the back against the Silverbacks. That's going to push them back to the 32. So it's going to be 2nd and 14 off of the spot foul. As I believe they're ruling that the spot of the foul was at around the 42-yard line, so 10 yards back from that. 2nd and 14 now. 11 takes the snap, looking to throw this time, scrambles to his left, floats up a pass. Oh, a one-handed interception! Joe Lyman again! Oh, wait, we've got another flag on the play, though. Another flag. We got to wait and see what this one is. And more importantly, if it's on the Badgers, we got to wait and see if it's before or after the interception. Personal foul on the Badgers, but it is after the interception. It'll still be first down Badgers. Second time they've gotten an interception and then gotten a personal foul on the run back. Definitely something they got to adjust, but take a look again at this play by Joe Lyman. Number 11 saw Valentin starting to gain a step, tried to float up a pass. He was a step behind him, but Valentin with the outstretched hand robbing them on that play. The Badgers pushed significantly back as they would have been deep in Silverbacks territory. They are still starting on the Silverbacks side of the field, but they'll be at the 45 instead of close to the red zone. Second interception of the day for Joe Lyman, the defensive back from Hudson. And now the Badgers, after going 3 and out on their first possession of the second half, they now have much better field position to start with this one. Can they find that big play that they have so sorely needed? Come out and shotgun, 2 receivers on the left, 1 on the right, 1 running back on either side of Marquise Hughes for some extra protection. Hughes going for the handoff. Kevon Doolin bursting up the middle, got a bit of a hole. Doolin churning the legs for a decent gain on that one. A nice draw play to Kevon Doolin. Gains the Badgers 7 yards. Their biggest rushing play of the day. Doolin, the owner of the 2 longest runs for the Badgers. He got a 6-yard run in the first half, just got a 7-yard run there. Badgers sticking with the same formation, 1 running back on either side of Hughes, 1 receiver out wide on the right, 2 on the left. High snap, Hughes recovers it, tries to hand off, it's juggled, and Doolin barely picks it up off the ground, trying to run, but he's chased down and brought down by the Silverbacks defense. The bad snap and the ensuing juggling act by the Badgers will push them back to the 43 as they lose 5 on that play. And it'll be 3rd and 8. Again, it's just a matter of stringing successful plays together, which they have not been able to do so far. Once again, Hughes coming out with Kevon Doolin and Jean-John Vieira, but they're going to push John Vieira into a tight end spot with 2 receivers on the right and 1 on the left. Hughes moves Doolin to the left side of the backfield. And some premature movement. And it's going to be a false start on the Badgers 3rd and 13 now as they're going to move back to the 48-yard line. The play clock was running down on them. I could hear some folks from the Badgers bench screaming to call a timeout, and I think that resulted in a lot of guys just feeling rushed. So the Badgers go from 2nd and 3 to 3rd and 13. They're going to need a big play here as they come out with 2 on the receivers on the right, 1 on the left, 1 tight end on the right. Running back on the left of Hughes. Hughes takes the snap, steps back, looking. He's got time, fires a shot, caught. I think that might be a first down catch by Kyle Arias. A well-executed chunk play by the Badgers for a long first down reception. Great blocking out of the backfield by, I believe, John Vieira. Gave Hughes all the time in the world to find his man as they get all the way up to the 33, but they have got to follow that up. They need to string the big plays together if they want to get into the end zone and get on the board. Hughes stepping back, got time, fires a deep shot, looking for it all. Oh, almost intercepted. Broken up from behind by Jonathan Joseph as he was well covered by Jalen Valentin on the play. Valentin almost coming away with the interception, as the two kind of had to switch roles for a second there. Valentin fighting for the catch, Joseph fighting to break it up. And that'll bring up 2nd and 10. The Silverbacks putting their speediest guy on the Badgers' speediest guy after Joseph got that big reception down the sideline in the first half. Second and 10, still at the 33. 2 receivers and a tight end on the right. 1 receiver isolated on the left. Running back on the left of Hughes. Hughes standing in the pocket, moving to his right, now taking it off, ball under his arm, and he's running with it, and I think he might have gotten the first. It's going to be very close. I do believe he's got it. A big run by Marquise Hughes. Again, much stronger blocking. You can see number 2, who I believe is either Xavier Garcia or Keith Campbell. Either way, doing a fantastic job blocking as the running back, giving Hughes those extra seconds that he just did not have in the first half. And Marquise Hughes with his speed, committing to the run, and just barely using all the sideline he could to get that first down. Badgers come out with 1 wide receiver on the right, 2 receivers on the left, a tight end on the left, and a running back next to Hughes. 1st and 10 from the 22. Hughes takes the snap. He's got time. Fires over the middle. Picked off. The Silverbacks running it back, and they've got space to run. A lot of space. Headed down the sideline. They're not going to stop him. A flag is thrown on the play. Number 12 for the Silverbacks going all the way for a pick 6, but again, pending the flag. Could the Badgers be saved by the penalty once again? Either way, I believe the Silverbacks are getting the ball back as the NLC defense had another safety hanging around. Personal foul against the Silverbacks. Oh my God, another touchdown taken off the board for the visitors. The Badgers getting very lucky again. As for the second time in this third quarter, the Silverbacks getting overzealous and over physical during a run back. It was a great interception by number 12, was playing back as the safety, was leaning towards the near side of the field on Hughes's right. He threw over the middle to a receiver coming from the left side, so he was mostly looking at the left. Didn't see that the safety was within range, and the safety cut in front of the pass and picked it off. The Badgers very lucky for the penalty on the run back, and so the Silverbacks will start 1st and 10 at their own 30. 11 steps back, has a man open, 86. Hit immediately, trying to shake off the tackle, but the help arrives and knocks him over. Jean-John Vieira, the first to make contact, and then some reinforcements from Kyle Hudson and Ty Hawley Sr. Looks to be a gain of about 5 on the catch by number 86 of the Silverbacks. 2nd and 5 from the 35. Two receivers on either side of 11. Takes the snap, hands off, number 2 off and running with it. He's got a big lane to the right, tries to hurdle, but he gets tripped up at the end of the hurdle by Jonathan Joseph. That will be enough for a first down. So it'll be 1st and 10 from the 42-yard line. Eleven takes the snap, steps back, looking to throw, fires, and it skips in the turf. Incomplete. Second and 10 from the 42. And, you wonder why the Silverbacks don't try and establish the running game a little bit more. They've had a lot of success when carrying the football, able to shake off first contact, get some decent gains, move the ball slowly upfield. But the passing game, while productive at times, has also been a problem for them, as that pass broken up nicely by Jonathan Joseph. And that'll bring up 3rd and 10 off back-to-back incompletions. Great coverage by Jonathan Joseph on the play. Two receivers on either side of 11, steps back, looking to throw, fires deep down the sideline. The defender slipped and fell, and the pass way too far and incomplete. Don't see any flags. So it must have just been two-way contact there. Joseph lost his footing, stumbled, and that might have caused 19 to slow down a bit. Looked like the ball was too far either way. And they might have just ruled that, it was two-way contact, so not a foul on either players. They were both looking at the ball. The Silverbacks forced to punt here, 4th and 10 from their own 42. The Badgers sending Jonathan Joseph back deep to punt. They've got number 24, who's not listed on the roster as the secondary man. But the punt from 45 going all the way back to Joseph, drops it, still dropping it, now picks up the ball, gets hit immediately. And the Badgers are so lucky he did not lose that football. They might have been hoping for a longer return from their speedster, Jonathan Joseph, but they are just lucky to still have the football after he dropped that one. And that is the end of the third quarter. And folks, we are going into the fourth and final quarter of play with no score on the board from either team. The MetroWest Golden Badgers and New London County Silverbacks battling it out in a tight defensive contest. Multiple forced turnovers on both sides, as well as some untimely penalties and other miscues have kept them from getting on the scoreboard. Eventually, something has to give. But at this rate, we might need overtime for that. We will see. The Badgers starting 1st and 10 at their own 28. Marquise Hughes in shotgun. Has one receiver on either side. Sending out a second receiver to the right side of the formation. Brings in a running back on his right. He's got a tight end on his right as well. So one of their, and looks like a timeout's going to be called by the Badgers, as there was just a ton of confusion about how they were lining that one up. They were forced to move one of their running backs, Kevon Doolin, out to the receiver spot just because they didn't have enough receivers out there. Lots of confusion on that play in terms of who was lining up, where. We got some more notes in the live chat. Fans of both teams. We got Ali Carter saying, "Go Badgers number 16," referring, of course, to Shane Bushy. And Ashley in the live chat saying, "Go Silverbacks number 3." All right, here we go out of the timeout. The Badgers a little more organized. Two receivers on the left now. Hughes takes the snap, looking to throw, still looking. He's got plenty of time, but he's running out of time. Floats up a pass, hits him. Joe Lyman coming across the field, catches it on the near sideline. Nice play for the first down conversion. You can see Hughes was starting to run out of time, barely got the pass away as the rush was coming on his right side. Good read of the pressure to get the ball away, and nice placement on the floater pass to number 7, Joe Lyman, who with 2 interceptions on defense and now a big first down grab there, he's having himself a heck of a day. 13 yards on the completed pass. It'll be 1st and 10 from the 41. As I think another timeout was called, or yeah, it must have been way too early in the fourth quarter for it to be anything else other than a timeout. Folks on the bench for the Badgers telling the offensive players to hurry up and get in formation. Looks like they're going to come out with 4 receivers on the right side of the formation, One isolated on the left. Hughes takes the snap and a flag. Oh, it looks like it's against the defense. No, it's not. It's a false start on the offense. I thought it was weird that they blew the play dead on an offsides, but they call it a false start, and so it'll be 1st and 15 from the 36. So another false start setback. There's been plenty of that for both sides. Penalties have been killer today, especially for the Silverbacks. They've had 2 touchdowns taken off the board due to penalties on the run back. Badgers flip the formation, 4 now on the left and 1 on the right. Let's see what they decide to do here. Hughes takes the snap, and he starts to run, running to his right, directing traffic, looking, no one there, so he's just going to run and escapes and gets a nice gain there to undo the damage of the false start and maybe gain a little bit more. Looks like a gain of about 6 on the play, brings it to 2nd and 9. So the Badgers, you could plainly see their initial plan was to go for a screen pass to the more open side of the field as the team was lined up on the near side hash mark on their left, and so they were going to go for a screen out to their right. But then after the false start penalty, they decided to flip their formation and instead try and target the isolated receiver in the open side of the field. Well covered, though, and so Hughes just took off running with it, and now they've got Jonathan Joseph set to take a direct snap. No, he's going to throw. No, he's not. Joseph taking off and running with it. Joseph's got a hole. Joseph brought down from behind by number 37 of the Silverbacks, close to the marker. The Badgers going for some trickery there, and it actually works out. They've had some plays not work out for them. They're going to be 1 yard short of the first. 3rd and 1 at midfield. So that's an 8-yard run from Jonathan Joseph, biggest rushing play of the day so far for the Badgers. Almost lost the football at the tail end of that play, but managed to hold on. And it looks like they're sticking with the same formation. Jonathan Joseph coming out. 4 receivers bunched up tight on the left, 1 receiver isolated on the right. Joseph takes the snap, looking, and starts running again. He's got a hole again. Jonathan Joseph taking off to his right, dancing, going forward, and he's got the first down and a whole lot more. Effectively ran the same play twice, faked as if Jonathan Joseph, the receiver and return man and defensive back, was going to throw, but instead takes off running, stumbled a bit close to the line. That could have been disastrous for the Badgers. But once he gets into open field, Jonathan Joseph's so dangerous as he gets a big gain there. And the Badgers now in opposing territory, 1st and 10 from the Silverbacks' 36-yard line. They're going back to their normal quarterback now, Marquise Hughes in shotgun. They've still got 4 receivers on the left side of the formation, 1 isolated on the right. Empty backfield. Hughes takes the snap. They fake the screen, pass to the right, tipped by the defender, and they're lucky that wasn't picked off as it bounced off the hands of number 8. The problem for the Silverbacks was they actually had 2 defenders in a decent spot there. One wasn't able to get his hands on it. The other one was right in front of it, but because the closer defender was reaching out trying to get his hands on it, I think that might have caused him to blink or something as he dropped what could have been a big interception for the Silverbacks. And so I think the Badgers are going to switch back to a direct snap to Jonathan Joseph. Yeah, that's what they're doing. This time, one running back on either side of Joseph as he's flanked by Garcia and Cuba Morales. 3 receivers on the left. Joseph, hands off. Morales running up the middle, got some space. Morales breaking loose. Cuba Morales with a big run. And that's going to be good for another Badgers first down. Cuba Morales, the co-captain, known more for his physicality than his speed, takes the draw, steps behind Joseph so Joseph can create some blocking space in front of him. And once he picked up a little bit of speed, he was able to carry that momentum well across the first down marker. 1st and 10. Same formation. Joseph takes the snap, fakes the handoff. He's looking for a pass. He's still looking. No, he's not. He's taking off running with it. Joseph finding some room. Straight from behind, but he still fell on the ball. Another lucky break for the Badgers as Joseph gets a big run, and that might be another first down. I think that was another first down run, perhaps. No, just short of the first down marker. They spotted him at the 14, looks like. So looks like it's going to be 2nd and 1 off a 9-yard run from Joseph. These plays coming so fast. Or no, that was a first down. Ay. A little bit of confusion there. Hughes back at quarterback, 4 receivers on the right, 1 on the left. 1st and 10 from the Silverbacks' 14-yard line. Hughes takes it. Quick pass to the left. Doolin wasn't looking, but it couldn't be picked off. Valentin trying to catch it around the shoestrings. Goes through his hands as Doolin was about to collide with him. Doolin wasn't even looking at the play yet, so miscommunication there. The Badgers, they have come painstakingly close, or perhaps just plain old painfully close, to turning the ball over on a number of occasions on this possession. And yet, miraculously, they have turned this into a pretty strong drive. Their best of the day so far. 2nd and 10 from the 14. 4 receivers on the right, 1 on the left. Empty backfield for Hughes. Takes the snap, looking, takes off, running with it. Hughes has got some room. Hughes jukes, escapes one man, spins, still on his feet, still going. Marquise Hughes turning the legs, and he gets pushed. And they blow the play dead. Marquise Hughes, tremendous effort on the run. I believe that'll be enough for a 1st and goal, or maybe just short. Where are they spotting it? Needed to get to the 4. He definitely got there. Huge run from Marquise Hughes. Look at him spinning off contact and still going. The Silverbacks had been punishing the Badgers off the extra yards they were getting after first contact all day long. But then Marquise Hughes gritting and grinding out that run. Badgers appear to be at the 2 or 3 yard line. I think it's the 2. Knocking on the doorstep. Jonathan Joseph set to take the direct snap. Takes it. Rolling to his right. Bursting through. Spins. And he's in. Touchdown, Badgers. Jonathan Joseph with the 2-yard keeper, as those direct snap formations paid big dividends for the Badgers throughout that drive. And Jonathan Joseph just dancing and weaving through to find the opening for that touchdown. I didn't even manage to switch to 1st and goal. But now a PAT coming up as we got an injured Silverbacks player. Badgers setting up for the point after. This will likely be a 2-point conversion attempt. They're going to keep Joseph out there. Two receivers on either side of him. Takes the snap, looking, fakes, spins, avoids the chasers, still avoiding. He's got to throw it and finally pitches it, but they say he was down, as that would have been picked off by Valentin. Badgers actually kind of lucky, as that might have been run back for a pick 2 if that pass had been counted. Boy, Joseph made it look like he was, faked like he was going to pass so many times on those keepers. He didn't throw a single pass, except for that last desperate one. That just did not work at all on the 2-point conversion. So the MetroWest Golden Badgers, the first on the board here at Daly Field. They lead the Silverbacks 6-0 here in the 4th and final quarter of play. We got some more notes in the live chat. Marissa Stanley saying, go Silverbacks number 50. Christopher V with a nice compliment, saying nice commentary. Thank you very much, Christopher. Clayton Torres asking time check. Unfortunately, we don't have a scoreboard clock here, so there's no way for me to, there's almost no way for me to know how much time is left. You actually caught me at a lucky moment here, as I just heard from somewhere along the bench someone saying 6 minutes left. So I think there's about 6 minutes left in this game, with the Badgers leading by 1 score. The Silverbacks have had 2 touchdowns called back by penalties, one on a punt return, one on an interception. So we know the Silverbacks are capable of getting in the end zone. They've just got to do it cleanly if they want it to stick. Setting up for the kickoff is Jean Janvier. Short kick, curving to the right side, kind of an onside kick picked up by number 15. Number 15 running with it into Badgers territory as he gets tackled by a group. Well, not fully brought down, but the play was blown dead, as they ruled progress had been stopped. So after the short kick, I'm not sure if that was a planned onside attempt or if it just went off the side of the kicker's foot there. But either way, the Silverbacks will have good field position here, 1st and 10 at the Badgers' 43-yard line. Silverbacks waiting for something. I don't know what's going on here. They're trying to get things put in place. Okay, looks like now we're good. Silverbacks coming out with 2 receivers on either side. Number 11 in shotgun, running back behind him. Standard formation they've been running all day. Badgers have 1 safety back deep. Playing a lot of guys close to the line. 11 takes a snap, steps back, fakes a handoff, now takes off running, and he's got some space. Fires across his body, and it's caught! Number 86 with a huge catch for the Silverbacks. as the Badgers DB misjudged it there, as the ball went over his outstretched hands trying to make the interception, and instead a big completion to number 86. The Silverbacks knocking on the door inside the 15. 11 takes a snap, delayed handoff to 31 on the draw play, goes up the middle, taken down. He was trying to say he was still on his feet, but they ruled progress stopped. And so I think that's going to be 2nd and 8 from the 9, I think. So the Silverbacks inside the Badgers' 10-yard line now, looking for that game-tying touchdown. Eleven steps back, looking, scrambling to his left. Now fires a pass to the back of the end zone, too far, out of reach for 86. Incomplete pass. J2 Swish J asking why the video is skipping. Unfortunately, Jay, bad Wi-Fi connect. There's not any good Wi-Fi out here at Daly Field, and I apologize for that. There's really not much I can do, but I am recording this while I'm live streaming it, and I'll upload the recording, which will have full video without any of the skipping, and I'll upload that later tonight, so you can look out for that. In the meantime, unfortunately, all I can do is hope that my commentary gets you by well enough in this one. As this one coming down to the wire. 3rd and 8 from the Badgers' 9-yard line. Tighter formation for the Silverbacks here. They go for the jet sweep. Valentin running to the outside. Jukes, grab from behind, dragged down short of the goal line, but very close. This is going to bring up 4th down and very close, I think. Yeah, just short of the 1st down marker. I think by a yard. I think it's 4th and 1 from the 2. Boy, if a situation this tight doesn't get your blood pumping, I don't know what will. No, it's not. Yeah, it's 4th and 1 from the 2-yard line. So 1 yard to a 1st down, 2 yards to a touchdown for the Silverbacks. Number 11 under center. They might try for a sneak. They do try for a sneak. 11 pushing the pile. He's into the end zone. Touchdown, Silverbacks. Game on the line, and they decide to go to war in the trenches, and it pays off. The New London County Silverbacks get the touchdown, and this one counts. And now a very, very big play coming up right here. All tied up at 6. Presumably, the Silverbacks going for 2 here. If they make this 2-point conversion, they take the lead. If they fail, then we're tied at 6. Looks like a direct snap to number 2 is coming. Under center is number 2. Takes the handoff, tries to run, shakes off a couple tackles, brought down right at the goal line. They say he's in. That one was so close. The Badgers trying to say he was down short of the line. That was such a close play. Right at the goal line, it's very hard to tell. But ultimately, it's up to the officials ruling, and the officials rule that he was in. So a huge 2-point conversion by number 2 gives the Silverbacks the 8-6 lead here in the 4th quarter. So the New London County Silverbacks answer back right after the Golden Badgers score their first touchdown. They answer back with a score of their own, and they convert on the 2-pointer. And now at the Silverbacks setting up to kick this one away. The score is 8-6. Number 31 set to kick it away. I just heard from the Golden Badgers bench. Looks like sounds like about 3 minutes left. The Badgers gonna need a big drive here from their offense. Kick, line drive, bounces over the head of Kevon Doolin, but he recovers it. Now running to his left, trying to gain some room, and taken down just short of the 40-yard line. And that is where the Badgers will start their drive to try and take back the lead here at Daly. Last drive, the Badgers managed to get their first touchdown at home this season. Badgers trying to get their first home win of the season if they can manage to drive down the field in 3 minutes. It'll be 1st and 10 from the 39-yard line. Badgers coming out, 2 receivers and a tight end on the right, 1 receiver on the left, running back on the left of Hughes. Hughes takes the snap, looking, pass rush coming, escapes, fires a pass over the middle, finds Joe Lyman, off and running, headed for the sideline. He's pushed out of bounds. Another huge play from Joe Lyman. What a day he's having. A huge gain there. Joe Lyman with another crossing route. Last second escape by Hughes stepping up in the pocket, and he finds Lyman across the field. Smartly heading for the sideline. To try and give him ample time, but a big play for the Badgers. And he got a real chance to make something happen here. 1st and 10 from the Silverbacks 29. Looks like they're lining up for a direct snap to Jonathan Joseph. Takes the snap, fakes the handoff, and bursts to the outside. Joseph thought about passing, but decides to run, and maybe shouldn't have faked the pass because the Silverbacks not falling for it as much as they were on that first drive, but still manages to get a decent gain on that play before he's forced out of bounds. Goes from the 29 to the 24, 5-yard gain. So a big pass of 32 yards from Hughes to Lyman on the first play, and a 5-yard run from Joseph on the second play. 2nd and 5 from the opposing 24-yard line. And for the Badgers with no real kicker, it's end zone or bust. 2 receivers on the left. 1 on the right, running back on the left of Hughes. Tight end might be on the left, and we got some movement. Badgers trying to plead their case, trying to say that the Silverbacks jumped first. It's going to be tough for them to get that. More likely it would be a false start. Let's see what the call is. And it is a false start on the Badgers. The Badgers not happy with the call. They're trying to say that the Silverbacks jumped first. The tough thing is that the defense, they can, move as long as they don't cross the line. In the offense, if they so much as twitch and then the defense moves across the line after that, then it's going to be a false start. And so the officials are going to lean on a false start every time. And now we've got, I believe, the 2-minute warning. I guess the clock was still running. Badgers have 2 minutes to try and go 29 yards to the end zone. 8-6, the Silverbacks lead. You know, I've seen the Badgers come up big in these situations, and I've seen them come up short in these situations. What will they do here? I think the last home win I saw for the Badgers was against the Boston Chargers back in the 2022 Sweets Bowl. You know, don't quote me on that, but I think that was the last win they got at Daly Field. They've gotten a few wins on the road in that time since, but they're trying to finish the job on this drive here. 2nd and 10 from the 29. Hughes takes the snap, steps back, fires up a shot to his left, short of the receiver. And that's going to bring up 3rd and long. And, you know, I wasn't sure if I had my count right, but a very animated number 75, Larry Benjamin, one of the Badgers O-linemen, pointing out that they only had 10 guys out on that play. They were missing one of their receivers, I think, as they had 2 receivers and a tight end on the left and 1 running back next to Hughes, but no wide receiver on the right. So Benjamin, a little frustrated that the team wasn't organized enough to get a full 11 out on that play. Now they got 4 receivers on the left and 1 on the right. Hughes in shotgun with an empty backfield. 3rd and 10 from the 29. Takes the snap, fires a screen, almost picked off. Batted down by number 1. We got a flag on the play, though. This could be huge no matter who it's on. I think it's against the Badgers because they're looking at the Silverbacks bench. They called some kind of an illegal shift or something against the Badgers. The penalty declined by the Silverbacks. And this upcoming play here is for all the marbles. 4th and 10 from the 29-yard line. The Badgers either convert here or lose the game. And if they convert, they'll have a chance to keep pushing for the end zone. And a timeout going to be called by the Badgers. They want to make sure they're the most organized they've been all day, as they've had a number of times where they just weren't able to get everything together. And so a real nail-biter down to the wire moment coming up here. I mean, if you're the Badgers, you got to be thinking pass on this play. The pass has been getting you all of your biggest gains so far. One big catch by Jonathan Joseph in the first half. A couple of big catches by Joe Lyman over the course of the game. Shane Bushy had one big catch early in the third quarter. Kyle Arrayas had one big catch, I think, in the second quarter. And they're coming out with all of the four receivers that I just mentioned, two on each side. They've got Kevon Doolin as the running back next to Marquise Hughes. This one's for the game. Fourth down, 10 yards to go. The snap to Hughes, steps back, pressure, dumps it off to Doolin. Doolin's got to make all 10 yards himself, and he gets tripped up by Valentin, short of the line to gain. And that, in all likelihood, will be your ball game. The pass rush came too quick. Hughes just had to dump it off to the running back, Kevon Doolin. And blockers couldn't get back fast enough. Doolin, if he had managed to avoid Jalen Valentin, might have had a chance, but clipped his ankles and tripped him up. So a turnover on downs. And with 1st and 10 here, I imagine the Silverbacks are just going to run out the clock and put an end to this one. Not entirely sure. Like I said, no scoreboard clock here. But I got to imagine the Silverbacks just setting up in victory formation at this time. Number 11 under center. Hands it off to 2. 2 runs into the line, gets taken down quick. Not sure how many timeouts the Badgers have left. Probably not a lot. Clock definitely running. Looks like a loss of 1 on the play. 2nd and 11 from the 21. As the Badgers came up 3 yards short of the first down on that 4th down play. And now quarterback's just going to keep it. Flag on the play. Just awaiting the signal on the penalty. Personal foul, face mask on the Badgers. That'll be an automatic first. And the clock will continue to run after the whistle from the officials. And the Badgers starting to line up along the 50-yard line, getting ready for post-game handshakes as the Silverbacks getting ready to put a bow on this one. And there's the game. The new London County Silverbacks secure their first win of the season. The final score, Silverbacks 8, the MetroWest Golden Badgers 6. A close, down-to-the-wire contest here at Daly Field. So many twists and turns, So many highlight-worthy plays on both offense and defense for both sides. But ultimately, one team got the two-point conversion and one didn't, and that was the difference. The Badgers got a big drive together to try and threaten a comeback, but a penalty, an incompletion on a play where they only had 10 players on the field, an almost intercepted screen pass, and then a dump-off pass thanks to a pass rush hurry that came up 3 yards short of the line to gain on 4th down. Well, that is going to do it for this one. Thank you all so much for tuning in today. And again, be on the lookout for the fully recorded version of this broadcast, which will be uploaded later tonight on this same channel. The whole league is going to have a bye week for the 4th of July holiday, and then the Badgers are on the road on July 12th, but they'll be back here at home on July 19th, and I'll have that game covered for you back on this channel, so be sure to stay tuned for that. Subscribing to this channel can help with that. Thank you to all those who brought the good vibes in the live chat today. If there's anything you'd like to say after the live stream's concluded, you can say it in the comment section of this video or in the comment section of the recorded video that will be uploaded later tonight. Final score, New London County Silverbacks 8, MetroWest Golden Badgers 6. From Daly Field in Boston, Massachusetts, I am Jesse Mayfield Sheehan. Thank you all for watching, and have a good night.